Minecraft. Everybody's heard of it, everybody's probably played it, everybody's gotten one of those clickbait videos in their recommendations with some guy screaming in the thumbnail. You know Minecraft. It's a cultural phenomenon, it's been smashing sales charts since 2011, you can buy it on every console that you own, and still have fun with it even a decade later. But Minecraft has been changing recently, and I don't think it's in a good way. I don't think anybody does, except maybe the 8-year-olds you see clicking on those same clickbait videos. It all started back in 2014, when Microsoft bought Minecraft for $2.5 billion. If you know anything about Microsoft, you'll know they have sort of a reputation for buying companies and then absolutely running them into the ground. They did it with Mixer, they did it with Skype, and to me, they're doing it with Minecraft now too. At first, after Microsoft's acquisition of the game, it seemed like they would do a good job of keeping it true to its roots. Everybody liked version 1.8, I mean we have slime blocks, armor stands, new doors, Alex, but there were obviously some problems too. I think that the addition of the new rock types were sort of dramatic foreshadowing of the direction Microsoft wanted to take with Minecraft. No one wanted these new blocks, especially the types that Microsoft decided to add. They served no purpose, and were only an obstacle for players trying to get resources. And then, in 2016, we had the combat update. And to me, and probably many others, this was the beginning of the end for Minecraft. The simplicity and accessibility of the game was nearly completely gone. I felt like I was starting to lose my grasp on the game. I used to know absolutely everything there was to know about Minecraft, and these radical changes basically took all of that away. Gone were the days of simple combat, of just crafting a sword and clicking away. They had to make it all that much more complicated. And this might be a controversial opinion, but I don't really care for the elytra. Now, there's nearly no point to building a rail system or a canal for boats when you can just fly. Microsoft tried to remedy this by making it more of an endgame item, which I get, but still, setting up massive rail systems and the feeling of achievement when they were done was one of my favorite things about Minecraft. And now that's no longer a viable option, it feels like yet another part of what makes the game fun has been taken away. When I go back and play older versions of Minecraft, especially alpha and early beta versions, that sense of mystery and fun is still there. Though they may not have as many features as later versions, it's pure, undiluted Minecraft. I would rather have these versions than the ones we have today, which feel like they're filled to the brim with obnoxious, unnecessary content. For me, I think the golden age of the game was between 1.4 and 1.7, the pretty scary update to the update that changed the world. While I do like the previous versions, the additions that these updates added were great, and it feels like they were actually bettering the game instead of filling it up with as much unnecessary content as possible. I don't have much to say about 1.10 through 1.13. They were pretty mundane to me. 1.12's big color update was sort of a disappointment because now beds aren't all red anymore, but that's not a big issue, and other than that, the changes didn't really affect how the game was played all that much. But after that was the big one. The update that made me lose most of my faith in Minecraft, and Microsoft as well. Let's talk about Village and Pillage. First of all, I want to talk about how this update completely changed the meta of the game. While the shipwrecks added in 1.13 did change the meta up a bit, they didn't do much except add a luck-based way of getting resources earlier, similar to a village blacksmith. Speaking of blacksmith, the villager was completely removed from the game, which changed the trading system up a lot. The wandering trader also served this purpose. Basically, all my knowledge of Minecraft trading was either changed or thrown out the window entirely. I now know almost nothing about villagers and trading. Obviously, you could say that's my fault, but these radical changes did nothing but complicate parts of the game. The texture change really disappointed me, and I'm sure other Minecraft players before it feel the same way. It feels like they sucked the soul out of all the blocks and items. The simple pixel art styling of before had been cast aside in favor of a more smooth, realistic look, which, while it sometimes looks better, still leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. It almost makes the entire game feel different, with the sense of otherworldliness and amazement replaced with traditionalism and normalcy. There's no wonder to the game anymore. I don't really know how to put it into words, but it seems like with all the updates through the years, it's been taken out of the world it was in before and put into ours. The villagers seem so much more like regular people instead of weird, almost human creatures that you could barter with. While Notch is a douchebag, his vision for the game seems so much better than where we are now. The world generation, for example, used to generate massive cliffs and overhangs, and its variety just added to the otherworldly feeling I was just talking about. but that's gone now. This next chapter is called Sellout because I think that's exactly what Microsoft is doing to Minecraft right now. First off, I want to talk about Bedrock Edition because I think that's where this sort of next step started. At first, it seemed like they were trying to use Bedrock Edition as a way to synchronize all the different platforms to make cross-platform play easier, but looking back, it seems like this was just the beginning. Soon after, they released Minecoins, which right away came off as a shitty thing to do. You could argue that they had skin packs and texture packs on the native console versions of Minecraft, which was true, they did, but not like this. Even on the PC version, which has always had support for custom skins, and for free I might add, they were selling skin and texture packs. They added a built-in skin editor, but even that had cosmetic items locked behind paywalls, and it didn't compare to the depth and creativity that came along with Java skins. Throughout this, it was becoming more and more clear that Microsoft was pushing multiplayer more and more over the years, and single-player experiences were getting pushed to the side. Better Together is obviously the go-to example of this change, as it added cross-platform support only for Bedrock, mind you. Microsoft's push for all players to come to the Bedrock platform only reinforces the idea that Minecraft is slowly becoming an online-focused game. I think the final nail in Minecraft's coffin is the introduction of emotes after Minecon Live 2019. These are just another pointless microtransaction that only serve a purpose in online play, which, once again, shows that Microsoft want people to transition to multiplayer/LAN servers. This also adds to the fact that Microsoft is trying to milk Minecraft for as much cash as possible, turning it from a classic game into a soulless shell of what it once was. When I think of Minecraft now, I think of a game that was once great, but was milked for all it was worth and left on the side of the road to die. This is probably a pretty pessimistic outlook of the game's future, and I might be worrying a bit too much, but this is my take on the future of the game. I think if Microsoft keeps going down the path they're headed, Minecraft's lifespan is just going to keep getting closer and closer to its end.